Right now, one of the biggest categories on this entire platform is true crime. Millions of people, every single night, watching strangers describe murders, disappearances, and unsolved cases in obsessive detail. You've probably done it yourself. Told yourself just one more episode at midnight, then looked up and it's 2 a.m.
And here's the strange part. Most people who watch this content will tell you it makes them anxious, even scared, and they'll watch it again tomorrow. That's not a coincidence, and it's not a character flaw. It's neuroscience.
And once you understand what's actually happening in your brain when you watch true crime, you'll start to see the exact same mechanism running quietly in the background of your work life, and why so many of us can't seem to switch it off.
To understand true crime's grip on the brain, you have to start with a very old survival mechanism. The human brain is built to prioritize threat information over almost everything else. This isn't a modern glitch, it's ancient wiring.
For most of human history, the people who paid close attention to danger, who noticed the rustle in the grass, who remembered which berries made someone sick, who studied how the last person in the tribe got hurt, were the ones who survived. Your brain still runs that same program. Research on the brain's threat detection system shows that the amygdala, a small structure involved in processing fear and danger, activates rapidly and automatically in response to threat-related information, often before the rest of the brain has consciously registered what it's looking at.
This is sometimes called negativity bias in psychology research, the well-documented tendency for the brain to weigh negative or threatening information more heavily than positive or neutral information. True crime content is essentially a concentrated stream of exactly the kind of information your brain evolved to prioritize. A case, a victim, a perpetrator, a method, a warning, wrapped inside a story.
Your brain doesn't experience this as entertainment first. It experiences it as intelligence gathering. Your brain isn't watching a story, it's gathering threat data. That's why you can't just glance at a true crime video and move on the way you might scroll past a cooking video. Something older and more automatic in your brain has already leaned in.
Fear alone doesn't explain why people come back for more. If true crime only triggered anxiety, most people would watch once and stop. The reason they don't has to do with a second system entirely, the brain's reward circuitry. Research on dopamine has shown that this neurotransmitter isn't primarily about pleasure itself, it's about anticipation and prediction. Dopamine spikes most strongly not when we get a reward, but when we're uncertain whether we will. This is the same mechanism behind what psychologists call variable reward, first documented in classic research on intermittent reinforcement schedules. The finding that unpredictable rewards produce stronger, more persistent behavior than predictable ones. A true crime video is built entirely on variable reward. Will this case get solved? Will this detail matter? Will the twist come in the next 3 minutes or the next 30?
Your brain doesn't know, so it stays engaged, waiting to find out. Combine that uncertainty with autoplay, recommended videos, and thumbnails specifically designed to raise a question your brain wants answered, and you have a loop that feels less like a choice and more like a pull. Fear gets your attention. Uncertainty keeps it.
This is not a personal failing. It is a very well understood interaction between two ancient systems, threat detection and reward prediction, being activated by content precision engineered to trigger both at once. Here's the part almost nobody talks about. Your nervous system does not fully distinguish between a real threat happening to you and a vividly described threat happening to someone else. Research on stress physiology has consistently shown that the body's stress response, elevated heart rate, cortisol release, heightened alertness, can be activated by imagined or narrated danger almost as readily as by direct physical danger. This is part of why a well-produced true crime video can leave you feeling tense, hyper-alert, or unable to relax, even though you were never in any danger at all. You watched a story. Your body ran a threat response. And this matters because it doesn't turn off the moment the video ends. Cortisol takes time to clear. A nervous system that has spent 40 minutes in a heightened state of alertness doesn't simply reset the instant you close the laptop. Some sleep research has found that pre-sleep exposure to emotionally arousing or threat-related content is associated with poorer sleep onset and lower sleep quality, which tracks with something almost every true crime viewer has experienced: watching just one more and then lying awake, mind racing, long after the video ends.
Your body doesn't know it's just a video. You didn't just watch a documentary. You put your own nervous system through a small, repeated rehearsal of danger.
Now, here's where this stops being about true crime and starts being about almost everyone's daily life. Because the same two systems, threat detection and uncertain reward, are running quietly in the background of modern work. An unread email from your manager, subject line unclear, is a threat cue. Your brain doesn't know if it's good news or bad news, so it leans in, the same way it leans into a true crime thumbnail. A message that says, "Can we talk tomorrow?" with no other context produces the exact same uncertainty-driven activation as a video that says, "The detail investigators missed." Research on workplace stress has found that ambiguous, unpredictable demands, not knowing what's expected, not knowing when you'll hear back, not knowing where you stand, are consistently associated with higher reported stress than demands that are difficult but clear.
It's not the hard news that wears people down the fastest. It's the unresolved uncertainty, the refreshed inbox, the read receipt with no reply, the performance review that's been coming soon for 3 weeks. Your brain treats each of these the way it treats an unsolved case, as something to keep monitoring until it's resolved.
Uncertainty is exhausting in exactly the same way, whether it's a case file or an inbox. And just like true crime, this creates a loop. You check. Nothing resolves. The uncertainty stays open, so you check again. That's not weak willpower. That's the same ancient threat and reward system running on a different kind of case file.
There's a reason just stop checking your phone or just relax doesn't actually work as advice. You cannot logic your way out of a nervous system response. The systems involved here, the amygdala's threat detection, the dopamine system's uncertainty tracking, operate largely below conscious awareness. They evolved long before language, and they don't respond to being told to calm down.
What they do respond to, according to research on stress recovery, is a small number of specific things: predictability, resolution, and rest that is genuinely uninterrupted by further uncertainty-triggering stimuli. In practice, this means closing an open loop, actually finding out the answer to something uncertain, reduces activation far more effectively than trying to ignore it.
And it means that recovery from a day of ambiguous, low-grade threat monitoring requires something calmer than another screen offering yet more uncertain stimuli. This is why doom scrolling rarely feels restful, even when it's the thing you reach for to unwind. You're not resting the system. You're feeding it more of exactly what activated it in the first place. You can't scroll your way out of a threat response. You can only rest your way out of it. None of this means true crime is bad or that you need to swear off it. It means understanding what's actually happening changes what you do with the information. If ambiguous, unresolved situations are what your nervous system finds hardest to switch off from, at work and in what you watch before bed, there are a few things research on stress and recovery consistently points to. Naming uncertainty out loud, rather than silently monitoring it, has been shown to reduce the intensity of the stress response, sometimes called affect labeling in psychological research. Creating small, deliberate points of closure,
Checking in on the one open question, then consciously setting it down, reduces the ongoing cognitive load of monitoring it indefinitely.
And protecting a period of true rest before sleep, without new threat or reward stimuli competing for your attention, gives your nervous system the chance to actually come down from an activated state, rather than staying primed all night. You don't need less curiosity, you need more closure. This isn't about willpower, it's about giving your nervous system what the research says it actually needs to reset, which is very different from what a notification badge is offering you.
If you recognized yourself in the workplace section of this video, the refreshed inbox, the unresolved messages, the low-grade hum of monitoring something that never quite resolves, you're not alone, and you're not imagining it. That kind of chronic, low-level uncertainty is one of the most common and most under-recognized sources of stress at work, and it's exactly the kind of thing that early support is built for. Employee assistance programs, mental health coverage, coaching, well-being resources, occupational health support. Most of these exist specifically to help with this, not just crisis moments, but the ordinary, accumulating weight of unresolved stress that most people carry quietly and assume is just normal. Research on early intervention consistently shows the same pattern across many areas of health. Addressing something while it's manageable is far more effective than waiting until it isn't. You don't need a crisis to justify using the support that's already available to you. The pull you feel toward true crime at midnight and the pull you feel to check your inbox one more time before bed are not two different things. They're the same ancient system, looking for the same thing: resolution, an answer, a case closed. Your brain isn't broken for wanting that, but you get to decide where that need gets fed: endless, unresolved scrolling, or actual rest, actual closure, actual support. One of those keeps the loop running. The other actually lets you switch off. If this helped you understand something about your own habits, subscribe. More videos on the psychology of attention, stress, and how our brains actually work are coming. And if your workplace offers coaching, mental health support, or an employee assistance program, use it. Not because something is wrong, because closing the loop is what actually lets your nervous system rest.